Hey guys, so I'm sorry this is taking me so long, but this is finally the third video log about my interview process and about the final interview stage. It's now January, so Happy New Year. I hope you all had a good Christmas. But yeah, I'm now going to talk about the final interview. My final interview was in Manchester, so I travelled home and got to see my mum and dad for a bit before my interview, which was good, because I'm currently in Glasgow. The interview started at 9:30, but it's had to get there for 9 o'clock. Again, it's for a presentation. So I got up at 6:30 and got the train to Manchester Oxford Road, where I met a couple of other girls who had also got the train there, and then we got a taxi to the campus. It was on one of the Mannet campuses. We got there about 8:30, so we were quite early. So we ended up going and queuing up outside the room till about 5 to 9 when they let us in, and we gave in some documents that they'd asked us to bring. So like our photocopies of our passports, student status form to prove that we went to university, and like I want to say an application form, but I don't think there was one. I think that was pretty much it. So we handed all that in and took our seats. We were given like a little brochure with a bit of information in it, but nothing that we hadn't really already got. The presentation started at 9:30, and it was given by 3 people from the Disney company themselves from America. I can't remember all of the names. I know there was Jim, I think there was like Sue, but I can't remember the third woman's name. Jim is a guy from Epcot. He's like quite high up at Epcot from what I understand, in charge of a few rides and a lot of cast members, like 600 cast members. So that was, and he was like really funny and really nice, and the other 2 were really nice as well. The presentation was just general information again about what it'd be like to work there, you know, what you can get up to in your spare time. At the end of the presentation we got given our interview times. There was like 15 people were given an hour, and then sometime in like the hour that followed you would have your interview with one of the 3 people from Disney. My interview time was at 12 o'clock, and at that moment in time it was about 10:30. So we went up to the university's cafeteria, where we got, like, me and a few other girls got something to eat because we hadn't had any breakfast. So we had some like breakfast/lunch. There was another girl there who also had her interview at 12. So about 11:30 we made our way towards the interview room, stopping off at the toilet for a bit quick makeup check and stuff. We got to the room, like the waiting room, and the people from Uni Jobs were there, and they took three of us at a time into a room where they like checked over our, like we had to do an online application. So they checked through that, made sure it matched up with our we had to bring a photocopy of our passport and our birth certificate. So they made sure it all matched up, like all our numbers were correct. And we also had to take proof of address, so like a bank statement, to prove like where we lived. So they made all that like tallied up, and then we got sent back outside the waiting room. I think literally about 5 minutes after that, and like me and the 2 other girls that had been called into the room together got called again, and we were getting taken to our wait outside our interview room. We were getting interviewed with Jim, which I was really happy about because he seemed like the most fun and like person you can most have a chat with out of them all. So yeah, we waited outside the interview room. Each interview was about 10 minutes. Out of the 3 of us, I was second, so I only had a 10-minute wait for my interview. But I was so nervous in those 10 minutes. Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking just waiting outside that room. Then Jim called my name and I went in, and it was like I calmed down instantly, instantly calmed down. And yeah, the interview was more of a chat from like my experience of it. So he asked me about the roles that I'd chosen, because we gave them a tick sheet with like what roles we'd like to do. I'd also numbered my top 5 choices. So he went through those in order. My first choice was operations, which he was like most interested about because obviously he's in charge of a lot of rides and stuff, so that's like his area of expertise. So we went through all that and went through the next 4 of my 5 choices, saying why I'd like to do them, and why I feel I'd be good at doing them. He also asked me about the choices that I didn't choose. Like the main ones that I didn't choose were when I was like working on my own and not in a team. So that's just what I said. I said I'd much prefer to be working in a team, and obviously in operations you're working in like a massive team. Yeah, he said he was very pleased with my what was it? I can't remember now. With my enthusiasm for operations, which I was glad about because that was my top choice. Yeah, and then we just kind of had a chat. He asked me about where I'd been on holiday, if I'd ever been to America before. I said that I hadn't, so we talked about like where I had been on holiday. He said it was his first time to England and that he loved it here and stuff. So yeah, no, it was a really nice chat. Yeah, and that was pretty much the end of my interview. He asked if I had any questions, and my only question really was when we'd be finding out if we got through or not. So he told me the latest we would find out was like the 9th of November, I think it was. It was basically 2.5 weeks after the interview. So yeah, I left the interview room and that was me done. That was it, and all I could do then was hope that I'd done enough. Yeah, so then came the waiting. As I've said before, the worst part of this application process is definitely the waiting. Yeah, in the end we only actually had a 1.5 week wait. We found out the Friday before we were meant to, which was great, finding out and not having to wait another week. Luckily I was one of the people who got through, and I got my first choice overall, which is operations, which I was very happy about as well. So yeah, now it's just less than 5 months till I go to Disney, and I'm very excited, and I will be doing some more video logs soon about more of the build up and what I'm getting up to before I go to Disney. Thanks for watching.